Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Conor McGregor and KSI had a back and forth on Twitter recently. It all started with this tweet in which McGregor states he's still rocking with Dennis. To this, KSI replied with, "I'm sorry, but I'm about to do some serious damage to your boy." McGregor then replied, "Brother, you're a friendly little nerd, I don't care. He should be back doing MMA if he is doing this little nothing burger match with you. I could care less about this genre of boxing. I am sorry. Have a good one." KSI replied with, "When you see what I do to Dennis January 14th, then you will care." Paulo Costa compares whether or not the UFC pays fighters from Brazil less on purpose. In a recent interview, Costa said, "I think they just actually offer very low numbers for Brazilians. Maybe they think, these guys live in Brazil in the jungle, they don't really need money because the currency is like 5 times less than the dollar, so let's pay nothing. The mentality of Brazilians is, okay, I agree, let's do it. And I know the Brazilians do that a lot, but this is horrible for the business. There's an easy way to make fights happen. I can fight in March. Hey, Hunter Campbell, if you want that fight, if you want me to fight Whittaker, just send a contract with fair numbers." Dana White is back this week with an all-new recipe. Let's check it out.
What's up, everybody? It's Friday here at UFC headquarters. Merry Christmas, everyone. And for Christmas, we will be trying the Grinch Punch. In a pitcher mix, 4 ounces of Hollerhead, 4 ounces of clear rum, 4 ounces of Mountain Dew, 12 ounces of orange juice, and 4 ounces of blue curacao. All right, here we go. Merry Christmas. Yeah, that's pretty good. And I'm not being biased because of Hollerhead. That's actually a pretty good drink.
Alexander Volkanovski talks about what it's like to be in fight camp during the Christmas holidays. Here's what he had to say.
Christmas, mate. Talk me through Christmas when you're in training camp for a champ fight. I mean, because, fortunately you're going to be at 155. I'm assuming you can indulge a little bit, but talk me through Christmas Day in training camp.
Yeah, man, it's just obviously there's going to be a couple of days there where, we'll train, but I'll still have to have that. Recovery is a big part, but I mean, there's going to be days where you have to sort of be able to still spend time with the family. You can't just sit there and lay in bed and recover for the next session. So I think on Christmas Day, I still haven't talked to Joe whether we get a session out in the morning and then have the Arvo off. I'll figure that out. But
that's discipline, man. That is discipline.
Exactly. We'll see. Maybe not. I think maybe Christmas Day. Maybe we'll have the day off on the Christmas Day. I'll talk to Joe. I don't want to ask.
It's a Sunday. Come on, or a Monday for you.
It's we're actually doing sessions on every day at the moment anyway. So again, we started camp early. But yeah, so obviously it's going to be plenty of family time, but as long as I'm there, get the sessions out of the way and be present. You know what I mean? I'll just try my best to be present and work around that while I'm still doing work.
Sean O'Malley and Tim Welch discussed the altercation that occurred between Jake Shields and Mike Jackson at the UFC's PI.
Did you guys see the Jake Shields tuning up Mike Jackson at the UFC PI?
Was there a video of it?
Yeah.
I didn't see the video. Was it good?
Jake Shields is just on top of him in half guard right by the cage at the PI.
Yeah.
I think it was Mount, actually. And Mike Jackson is like, "You guys are really going to let him do this to me?"
No.
And he poshes up, smacks him across the face.
Because Mike Jackson's in the UFC.
And talking to
and Jake Shields isn't in the
on
UFC.
Twitter, calling him a Nazi, calling him all this stuff. Yeah.
And Jake Shields seems like he hangs out with the Diaz Bros.
Yeah.
But he seems like kind of like an outcast from the Diaz Bros, where he's like calmer, he's more like friendly, seems like a easy person to get along with.
Yeah.
So he must have been pretty upset.
And I saw on Twitter someone saying, "Wow, you're just publicly some verified guy publicly assaulting somebody," and it's like, dude.
Well, if you're at the PI, that's a safe place to get in a little altercation.
100. I mean, if someone's sitting there talking shit on Twitter, heavy shit, and now I see this person in real life, I'm not gonna assault them. No, this guy needs some fucking tough love, and he needs to learn a lesson.
As long
obviously.
as he didn't hurt him.
No, he didn't. He mounted him.
It made him feel like humbled him.
A bitch, yeah. Made him feel like a bitch.
Because Jackson's in the UFC. What is he?
1-3 pro.
So it's decent.
Definitely UFCable.
Dude, Jake Shields is not a you want to
no, and it's like, dude,
either.
You know you're probably going to see most of these guys in real life, so you should probably watch your mouth a little bit.
Alexander Volkanovski recently stated he would not panic if Islam Makhachev decides to take him down during their fight at UFC 284. Makhachev responded to Volkanovski's comment saying, "After first 15 helpless seconds on the ground, I guarantee you will panic." Daniel Cormier recently went off on USADA after finding out that Yuri Prochazka has been tested far more often than Jon Jones. In a recent video posted to his YouTube channel, Cormier said,
"One of the reasons, right, with Jon Jones was that he was going to get to come back, but he was going to be the most tested guy in USADA. They were going to be on him. They were going to make sure that he didn't have picograms or any of that stuff. Where are his damn tests? I mean, why is he not the most tested? Why are you testing Yuri Prochazka more than you're testing this guy who has a history of having these types of issues? That makes no sense."
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea. So I guess I actually don't even know what you saw. I actually thought it was completely random, but I don't think you're going to get a completely random
well,
sample.
they said it was random all the time, but not 64 times. You can't.
Jon Jones only been tested 4 times in 2022.
Look, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Right. Seriously, he should be tested, and this is based on.
Why has he not been tested more?
Ben, based on history,
nothing.
Ben, based on history, we're through the year. Poor Yuri Prochazka's showing his 6 times a month, or every 6 days, he's having to get in front of that USADA guy. And we have a guy that has a history of drug abuse that got tested a third of the months in the year. That's not fair. That's not random. And even if it's not random, hey Ben, even if it's not random, with people who have a history, hey, Paulo Costa, like he talks about the secret juice. He is literally putting a target on his back.
Funny.
And if they want to go and test him multiple times because of it, you got to be okay with that, because he's almost inviting that. Agreed. That is the same thing as I feel USADA should look at it with Jones based on the history of performance enhancing of abuse or the issues that he's had. To me, that just doesn't make any sense that he's been tested so little.
Ariel Helwani recently did a Q&A on his YouTube channel, and when asked about the cancellation of the Paulo Costa and Robert Whittaker fight and whether or not they'll pay fighters more to ensure fights like this go ahead, here's what he had to say.
No, I don't see them not doing this. This has backfired before. There was one fight, Nick Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal. Remember that? Like, the article is still up on ESPN.com. Nick Diaz versus Jorge Masvidal, and they put it up there, and they leaked it to a reporter, and that fight was never going to happen. This has happened before. There was Khabib versus Gilbert Melendez back in the days. Another one. They put it on the poster. I remember because I was working with Gilbert at Fox at the time, and he was like, "This fight ain't happening." And he was getting towards the end of his contract. So this is a tried and true practice. You have to be comfortable enough to stick to your guns. Paulo's in the final fight of his deal, and apparently, doesn't like what they're offering. And I'm not really sure why because he still has one fight left, right? So why isn't the fight happening? That's why I wanted to talk to him, and we'll talk to him hopefully in about 45 minutes time. I'm curious as to why this isn't just the last fight on his deal. If he has one fight left and he has to fight that fight to finish up his contract, why isn't this just the fight? You know what I mean? Like, why doesn't he fight it out with this? He has mentioned things like he was offered 70 and 70 and a 6-fight deal, and he turned it down, all that stuff. But I'm curious as to why this isn't the last one. As for the specific question here, no, they're going to do this. They're going to announce fights, leak fights, give it to their favorite, media members before anything is signed.
Back in March of 2021, Colby Covington was assaulted by Jorge Masvidal outside of a restaurant in Miami, not long after Colby defeated Masvidal in a 5-round clash inside the octagon. Colby Covington's statement was just released, and this is what he said right after the altercation occurred. "As soon as we're about to walk across the street, I get sideswiped from the side. Like, I get punched in the mouth real quick and get kind of dizzy. I look up and see who it is. I can see in his eyes, it's Jorge Masvidal. I can see his hair coming out of his hoodie, but he has a face mask on, a surgical face mask. But he's saying, 'You shouldn't have talked about my kids.' So I was easily able to identify that's his voice, that's his eyes, that's his hair. I know exactly who that is. Obviously, I just fought this individual 2 weeks ago in Las Vegas, Nevada for the UFC on pay-per-view. I beat him easily, so I know exactly what he looks like. I mean, I definitely suffered the injury to my tooth. He chipped my front tooth and knocked it out. The adrenaline is still kind of going right now, but he definitely rocked me. I saw stars a little bit, but I stayed on my feet. I was just trying to get to safety. That's all I was concerned about. I'm still close with the family, and I still like the kids. I was being honest. I said the honest truth. I know it's fight promotion, And anything kind of goes when you're trying to sell a fight, but I said the truth. Footage was also released of Jorge Masvidal in custody. Here's the clip.
Oh, you're a doctor? Yes, sir. Nobody touched you, beat you up. Not that they would, but you know. Jorge Masvidal. How the hell you got a 939 number? Well, I plan on moving there. Somewhere where there's a lot of jungle and close to the beach. That's what I want. Nowhere near the city.
I'll transport you, right? You're welcome.
It's been a while. It's been a good streak. I promised myself never again, but here I am. Is this just for the transporter vehicles, or all units got the bars now? Thanks, man. Yeah, ain't nobody kicking out no more windows.
You good with the air?
Yes, sir.
Just FYI, it's shift change right now, and they don't work very fast, so we could be here for a minute. They don't move fast for nobody.
You should have told us we could have stopped that Burger King, man.
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.